to be a rebel, 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 trend rebel, trend rebel, trend rebel, trend rebel.
All right.
Recovering from walking Williamsburg like crazy all weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Little vacay.
Yeah, my daughter's going to go to William and Mary here on the 20th, so she wanted to show it off to the rest of the family.
Oh, nice, 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 nice. Uh, Let me just see here. I'm just looking at. Okay. All right, cool. Let me just double check on this. All right, I got all that up, and we are recording. Yay! All right. Let's get into it. What a day. Major, major melt up day. I think this is what I called for last week. All right, off the morning call, we had the drop and persistent. So VIX is continuing its journey downward, lower low, lower high, slowly. It's not quite convinced. We did have a little spike up earlier in the day, just looking at where it wanted to go. So surprise to me, we moved pretty quickly today. Well, I expected the push up. I wasn't expecting us to take ES 7600. That was my target line. It has been, if you recall, back here on the last two bumps here in terms of taking and rejections, and this is what pushes us to all-time highs. So we are right on the cusp of this, giving us a little run of euphoria. I know. MHM pinned me down earlier today in terms of what that looks like, and I guess spelling it out made it happen faster. So here we are, 756.65 on SPY. That is a weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly high. It's only the first day in August. That was a joke, but it's actually a good high. So we're up pretty well here. Problems I'm seeing across the market. Let's just look really simply at SPY. Sorry, that jumped out on me. Real quickly on the day here. So we had our initial pullback, and not to be worried. Come back up here. Pullbacks are healthy. 5-minute 9 carried all the way up to current levels. We lost it slightly. The 21 picked up the slack and pushed us back up here. So problems I'm seeing is we're rolling, right? So we started with a very, very high trajectory. We're rolling up. So in terms of the day and day trading, we could be reaching a peak here, although it just does keep on going. So be careful in the overnight and the market if you're holding any short-term contracts. That's really all I wanted to say about that. Here you have ES. It's very similar setup here in terms of its reaction and where we're going. But we are, we're up 100 points for the day, which is excellent. So 100-point gain on ES, and honestly, this looks really good. It is definitely rounding on the top here, so we got to worry about the pullbacks here, but that's all they are pullbacks. Some of the other names lagged as we pulled. Just quickly here, so I can get off this chart. Oil at 80. We did spike up earlier, 80.66. Nothing terrible here going on with oil. Just no reaction and not much going on with Iran. So not a whole lot to report in that case. This is a very smooth, easy day, very atypical for a beginning of a month. But let's look at this actually from a daily standpoint from SPY. I actually had drawn this trajectory here. This was my target. We talked about this morning. We have exceeded my target. Now my target is now the back test because that is the trend line still. It doesn't change from being the trend line. So now, at least for today, tomorrow, and possibly Wednesday, we could be looking at this as a potential backtest area here that we need to hold. But getting real close to ATH at 758.45, so very, very close to that there. Consolidation is still in effect until we actually break out. But the good news on the daily chart, we had our run, this is our April run up, right? Massive, massive, massive run. And then what happens here? We lose trend here, right? So if I draw a straight line across, I'm going to delete this immediately, but here's a first attempt to price to break out a trend, second attempt price to break out of trend, first attempt at trend recovery, okay, which was rejected, and then we have our third attempt at breaking away from from trend to create a failed breakdown. So we need to hold here, and we need to bring that daily 9 back up here. That's not going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day, but that could happen relatively soon here. The forecast pushes us another 2 weeks for us to gain some ground here, create that scenario here. We could also peak out at the 758.45 level and double top here. This would be a very normalized structure, so we need to be cautious up here. But we have also made some very, very positive momentum in this direction. A war tweet ending solution, yada, 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 would help break this thing up. And if we do take out the prior high, that gives us some more leeway here in terms of growth. But right now, this is going to be a hard stop in my calculation, 758.45. I'm going to plan for it to be a hard stop so that I am not surprised at its rejection if it happens. If it goes through it, all the more. All right, here we are on the Qs. Qs, struggling a little bit more than that because of the chips, but we're at the daily 20. Looks like we're ready to turn that daily 9 up, and this is what I was talking about on Friday. You got my little loop there. I can get rid of Friday's drawing. I'll just get rid of this one specific one here because it did it already. And we're in this channel here we need to hop out of. Let me just bring this into perspective here now that we changed over. Perfect. So now on the daily, if we can get the Qs to run on up here, we'll test this line here at the 708, 709 level. Here, this isn't going to happen today either, but could in the overnight at a new level, which would be lower. And that could give us the break point that we need. As soon as the Qs break out of this level here, off of this trend here, we're going to see that be a little euphoric as well. And we need a couple of, well, PLTR is announcing tonight. AMD is either tomorrow or Wednesday. I forget those, but you guys, we've talked about them 100 times, and they're also in the earnings channel. Please go to the earnings channel. If you don't see or have access to the earnings channel, it is free for everybody, so you can just go ahead and select the role there and grab it. NVIDIA. All right, nice little run here. Again, pulling out of the pocket here. Nice cup. We've got to make a handle later. Trend is reversing here. Failed breakout levels are much higher. Really looking at that 212 range there in order to bring this up. But what a great recovery here for NVIDIA. And honestly, this is going to be the one at a time. Let's run this up nice and slowly. I keep saying about NVIDIA, I don't want it to be hyperstatic and give us some crazy moves. I would like to just get it rolling in a good, safe trajectory. That would be to follow this trend line here, which cuts off a little bit. I bring it down a little bit, actually, got a little too high. I want to prove the point that we're just accelerating a little faster than we need to. So those extra acceleration boosts that we get outside of trend always end up in a pullback, and they can pull back underneath and pull back. So we just want to full and then jump back above and push. We just want to get a nice clean average. We're never going to get it that clean, but we can just punch up and down this and keep going until we get back in on top of the breakdown levels, which was that 212 level I was just talking about. All right, Soxel. Soxel's playing games on everybody today. Yep, pulling back here. D200 was my floor. Second floor, third floor. 8621 is the yucky place. Targets are up here, as we spelled out this morning. And looks like we had a nice pullback and recovery. This looks very, very normal and typical. We are in a higher range than we were, we were higher than Friday's close, which is good. And now we need to continue on. This is going to be highly dependent on all of our reporting cohorts this week. We've got about 5 majors, and once those finish reporting, that should help Soxel boost on up. I do expect volatility with Soxel as always, but I do also expect it to gain through this period. Here we are on the daily as well. This looks much cleaner right now than it did this morning too. I know everybody gets all panicky with Soxol, but for good reason too. So we need to grab that trajectory and push it on up there. Otherwise, we would need it to do it down from a lower level. Glad we're taking the higher route. Keeps everybody a little more sane. Nobody has to pull hair out, that kind of thing. That's where we are. That MU, similar game. MU's got a little different story though. Got a box out of these MAs, the 24/9 pushing down right now. 24 hour 4-hour 20. Oh boy, that's a mouthful. Still down, but flattened. This will turn. We'll bounce through this. We get a little push on MU. MU wants to run. It wants 1500 more than any other stock wants anything. This will take off eventually. I'm not calling it right this second. Here's the little darling that we all love, CRDO, up 8 points for the day. Gave us a nice range today of 195 to 215. So you've got 15 points of day trading here. This is just a blast to trade. So don't ever forget, if you're looking for something to day trade or scalp on, this is it. Just find the low, sell the high. Sounds really easy, right? Well, for this one in particular, it is. It usually picks a direction, and when it changes that direction, we get a little move here. Look, looky. Open down at the low, held up at the 4-hour 9 on the RTH, as well as the 30-minute 50. There's your entry. You run it up. This is your exit over here for the first time if you get scared on that. If you hold through and kept any candle in contact with the 20, you could have done that, and that would have kept you in the trade till now as well. Keep it going. Anyway, this one, I don't want to go through semantics on how to do the trade specifically, but I'm happy to do so with anybody else. I do this one a lot with people. It's one of the number one tech companies people ask me how to day trade, because it is a lot of fun. But proof is in the pudding here on the turnaround. We had the pull up, the little scare on Friday with the pullback, and then the 24-hour 9 is now aimed up. We got 1840 on the degrees of angle. We are approaching the highs of last week too here, and we need to take those out. So CRDO on the run. Starting to look favorably on this again. However, I do need 232. So day trade, yes. Scalp, yes. Swing, almost. Almost, because we almost lost it again too. So don't want to early entry on that either. So 232, or at least a trajectory that buys me 232 and an SMA that makes some sense. This 24-hour 9 may be that ride that we'd be looking for. We'll give it a little chance to prove itself going into this evening, and maybe tomorrow morning as well. And that could be an opportunity here. Here's the thing that always happens. I shit on CoreWeave shits on me, and here it is. Nice spike today. Did absolutely phenomenal. Looks very, very similar to what it did the other day. And then we had the pullback. So judging from based on what Meta announced and said, and judging from how this is reacting, we're probably getting into safer space, but I am still going to be waiting for 83.28 on the 24-hour 9. So I want that breakdown recovered so that I know we are out of it. Price wise, look at that. We're sitting right on the top of it right now. We're stalling here. We have been for the last two candles. But I'm not too concerned about it, actually. I think it will take back and will go. This is going to be one of those great opportunities that we're going to buy in after it's already gotten about 10% into its direction, which is fine, or 20%. Not a problem. AMD earnings is tomorrow, and that means that we've got a super display here for us. We have the pullback over down here towards the exit. Let me just pull this out of the way for a sec. And then we're going, and we're right at the 24-hour 4-hour 9 at the rejection level here. So we're trying to eat up that rejection now so we can carry on. Daily 9 up above, and then we've got some stacked daily, weekly MAs up here that will all result likely in AMD's ability to push on through this through earnings. So earnings is going to be a big deal for this. Not sure what the play is going to be yet for earnings on here, but I am going to hold us up to, if you got in today, let's keep that daily 20, excuse me, that 4-hour 20. Let's keep that below us so we can continue to carry the ride. Tesla's doing fun today. It's actually broke out from last week's high. And we are pushing up on this 324. This is a level Jinja pointed out to us earlier. It is a struggle bus for Tesla here, but we will get above it, I believe, this week. Daily 9 backtest, or VWAP backtest, actually proved successful. We're bouncing on back here. Looks like Tesla is on recovery here now. If you look at this formation, it's pretty tight in here. So we got a little bit more consolidation in this range, then we start to head up higher. And it does look like a well-formed bottom at this point. So liking Tesla here. Be careful. Tesla can be a pain in the ass. So what I like to do is, for anybody looking for entry, we will find entry on a 4-hour or any, actually, MA that you can follow, that you can use for your trade. And that means that you are not blinded by overnight hours with options unless you're swinging longer term. But again, by closeness to them, like the penetration of the 15-minute 9 right now, if it takes that again and starts to run, that would be a good entry. Or if you are scalping tighter, here was your good entry here on pulling up the 5-minute 9 here and taking that on this upward run here as it was going. Good space to be in right there as it goes. Then you could switch on over to the 5-minute 20 till the 9 catches up, so you can hold your profit in, and then if the 9 crosses through, you carry that on up through. All the while looking for the ability to hold that trend line as a trade. That's all you're trying to do, is hold an upward trend line so that you can take profit no matter where you're at. Anyway, all right, so got that covered. Where's my favorite short? It's fighting me, but that's okay. We got to go 4 steps down, 2 steps up, and we'll go 4 steps down again. So not worried about this too much. Never will be, but we're getting lower. So today we hit a new low, which is excellent at 104.83. Again, I'm going to rethink all of this 99/100 because it's going to be a psychological level. Maybe pull out, get a little higher, get back in, etc. But target's still in the 80s, and this short has worked pretty well so far. Apple was oversold last week on its earnings report. It was oversold. Recovery in here for the bottom looked soft, and I had mentioned that it wasn't a smart recovery, so had some concerns. I did, however, say that probably entries in here were worth looking at. We rejected the 4-hour 9 on first touch, which can be expected somewhat. All we need to do is we need to hold last week's low, or better yet, we now have a closed candle. We can grab our low and we can create a trend line from there, and we want to hold that trend line. Anybody looking for a reason to get out or an exit, here is your reason and exit. Anybody who's looking for a reason to stay, here is your reason to stay. Anybody looking for problems, here are your problems. Weekly 9, PDC, daily 50, 24-hour 9, China high, daily high, weekly high. We've just got a block load of crap in front of us here. And when you get a big push like this, 2 things can happen. Well, multiple things, but the 2 things I like to look at is a bottom can formulate. This is kind of weak, or you get a V-shaped recovery. So what we are doing here is we're doing a consolidated bottom, and actually not particularly unusual for Apple. We don't have to go that far back to see this again, which is right here. So consolidated bottom, push up, consolidate, back up, test a little bit, and then rise. Okay, so we are here right now. So we have a little bit more sideways, and then we'll start to ramp back up again. And that's Apple. And that, if I had to bank on anything, that's one I could bank on, is Apple is going to consolidate in this range a little bit before it starts to push on back up, or just go back up. Either way. But I think Apple's felt its bottom. If I'm wrong, the bottom is your exit. There is no question about that. I will not hold Apple below these levels again. So we'll let it go, and then we'll find a new bottom, and then we'll go from there. Amazon. This could be the most retardedly missed trade of the year. My bad. My focus was on Apple, and this should have been the focus. Way underestimated Amazon. And just give me 1 second. I have to sneeze. Or not. Excuse me. Sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. Anyway, so earnings, and I had a feeling this was going to, project a really good outcome for Amazon, but I didn't think the market was going to react as well as it did to it. Bottom formulated earnings here. We had the pullback coming down. Levels we needed it to beat weren't that high. 253, 258 in that range here, right in here. Earnings done, push up, closed high. Momentum was there. We went from 258 on the close. We're now 287 on the high of the day. What a run for Amazon. So kudos. I know a bunch of you guys were in this one, and I hope you did very well. And you used something like the 4-hour 9 to stay in, which means you're still in. Anyway, great trade there. Let's look at it on the 5-minute chart. We have a nice push up this morning on the open, and then we've stalled. The actual consolidation looks more like a wedge, a falling wedge. Whoop, give me that wedge. A falling wedge with a flat bottom. So I would give this more of a flat bottom than a trending one. So anyway, consolidating in the box. We're bouncing around in here. We will break or push once we get there. And typically this high of a run would probably break since we already are below the 15-minute 9. So no need to chase this one on up. Let the back test fall where it goes. Let's get something meaningful, maybe the 4-hour 9 or something before the next big push. Before we look for entries here. But otherwise, very impressive run for Amazon. Netflix attempted the weekly 9 again, failed, and is now in consolidation at the 4-hour 9. It needs to spin that, and we'll see where we go from there. But right now, we're just kind of flat here. Not a whole lot going on there. Google on a run. This is the trajectory that we had set forth before. We had a little bit of a consolidation period, and then we carried on through. So great run here for Google as well. Always knew when we had this pullback that Google would recover. This bottom is a shitty one. It's a falling knife bottom. It's not one that you want to see. Falling knife, no V-shaped recovery. Very, very hard. Consolidation and then trend. So now that we have trend back in place, we are good to go. Staying on these levels, again, you cannot chase up here. You have to find support. And then once we have that support, you can look for your entries and look for us to carry through with that. Meta on the morning, popping out of the breakdown. Testing it anyway, and I guess we're not really popping out yet, but definitely testing that breakdown, see where we can go from there, and try to push. I'm not there yet with Meta. I believe we will still continue to carry on forward, but I don't like these supports right here and the resistance we're getting right at the breakdown level, 596.85 in this range here. So we tested and failed. So let's see the breakout first, and then we can either buy the back test or we can buy the run to the monthly 9 up here. And then we will sell that and buy again over it, or we'll buy the back test of the weekly 9. Daily 9 is still negative as well. So all this crap pushing hard against Meta. It needs to turn. 24-hour 9 going to push back up, and hopefully that'll take it soon. What do I got here? TSLL. Coin. This was like Jin just said on the pop before the drop. So 4-hour 9 coming crashing down here. Be able to run it up, grab that for the rejection, and to me it's probably a short. I'm actually going to consider that tomorrow. All right, back over to the 4-panel chart. I'm looking at SPY again, and we've got our nice little new candle here on the regular trading hours, and we are looking at ES. Coast is clear. Look at this. What a difference it makes to just pile through all of those MAs. I mean, we've got green as far as the eye can see here at that 76.11 range, 76.24 now. And SPY is coming up real close to ATH at 758.45, and that is right here-ish. and we are darn close to pushing that level. VIX is waking up a little bit. We're going to keep an eye on that. 409 is coming here, hopefully add suppression. That'll push that down and give us the ability to kind of push on through. But do not expect the push out without potentially a back test again, which is what we were talking about here. We could double top here and push down. So caution, caution, caution. But otherwise, everything looks good. Impressive day for the first of the trading month, first day of the trading month. Very impressive day indeed. Please, if you're in high profit in any contracts, consider swapping contracts for less exposure or reducing contracts for less exposure. Remember, a lot of us that play the options game, we always love to see the green, hate to see the red, but you got to take the green off the table sometimes and minimize that. If you need any help with that, that's what I am here for. Let me know, and I will walk you through a visual of looking at what to do without telling you. You will make your own decisions, but I can show you what bananas do. That's it for that. Thanks everybody for joining me. I am still here. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any complaints, requests, or is there anything I can take a look at for you? All right. Silence is the answer. Well, thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it, and I will wrap this up, get this posted, and then I will try to meet you guys back on the trading floor in like 5 minutes.
Market goes down and you lose like a clown.